Joining me with more is Cecile Shea. She's a non-resident senior fellow on global security and diplomacy at the Chicago Council on Global Affairs. She worked closely with the Abe administration during her time as a senior embassy official in Tokyo. Thanks for joining us. You worked foreign policy in the region for years. Help us understand how rare and unprecedented gun violence is in Japan.
Well, not only gun violence, but crime and violence generally is extremely rare. It is probably the safest developed country in the world. It's the kind of place where women walk into Starbucks, put their handbag on a table, walk over to order and wash their hands, and know that their handbag will still be on the table when they return home back. So this is shocking on that level, but even more so, Abe is just an extraordinary, charismatic, successful politician in a country that tends to churn through prime ministers. So it's also shocking in that way. It's just horrible to think that someone who was so alive, so strong, so possessed of a vision of the future, not only for his country, but of the free world, could just be shot that way.
What does the assassination mean for domestic politics in Japan?
Yes, well, as I mentioned, Japan tends to churn through prime ministers a year and a half, 2 years, and Abe was prime minister for almost 10 years. And not only did that provide a lot of continuity in the country, it gave Japan an even larger role in the international stage because Abe had the chance to develop relationships with his fellow world leaders. Remember, Japan has the third largest economy in the world, the most advanced military in Asia. It's a tremendously important country. And Abe was able to take that strength and put his own personality and political sense behind that, and reach a lot of objectives, including encouraging regional cooperation and cohesion in the rise of China that not too many other Japanese politicians could have done. So his loss is going to be felt in the region and in Japan, and in the political situation in Japan especially.
President Biden has expressed condolences for the former Prime Minister Abe, calling him a champion of the alliance between our nations. Could the assassination impact the fundamentals of the Tokyo-Washington relationship?
I think the alliance is so strong. There was a very brief period in about 2011 when folks on both sides of the Pacific were wondering if we still needed so many service people in Japan, for instance. We have over 50,000 U.S. troops in Japan and their families. It's pretty clear now that with the situation with China and with Russia, Asia is really counting on that forward presence of the U.S. and of its leadership along with Japan. And Japan, especially since the disaster with the tsunami and the nuclear power plant disaster, understands that the U.S. is going to be there for it. So I don't think that there's any real risk to the alliance in the short term, but it's really just a huge loss on the international stage and really a loss in the security establishment, because Abe was just so capable of pulling nations together and planning for the future.
That takes me to my next question, which is the big picture question. Japan has been the United States' democratic anchor in the region, surrounded by authoritarian regimes, China, Russia, and North Korea. Does the assassination change the equation?
The assassination in the short term does not change the equation. Prime Minister Kishida was Abe's hand-chosen prime minister. After all, they were friends and they were allies. And the Liberal Democratic Party certainly is not going anywhere. The question is how much does a personality play in the strength of any relationship? And Abe's personality certainly was very helpful in that, as was President Obama. He really understood Asia and felt very comfortable there. So, it's going to take some work. There's not going to be another Shinzo Abe in Japan probably in the near future. But the alliance is strong. The threats are too great in the region. The future is too full of potential disasters, both in terms of climate, but also just in terms of geopolitics, that we'll find a way to work through this. But his loss is huge. It's huge. It's a huge loss to Japan. It's a huge loss to the region. And it's a huge loss, to be sure, to the U.S.-Japan relationship.
Cecile Shea, thank you.
Thank you.